anticipating a gain in the future. That's what investing is about. You commit your resources now into a project, into an endeavor, into an investment, expecting a return, a profit, or a gain in the future. That's what investing is. And that's something you need to do. Investing is not a rich man's game. It's not something purely exclusive for a certain type of people. You need to be doing it. All right? Whether or not or wherever, you've got to be doing it. Whether you are in, the top of your game, you have to be doing it. All right? The idea why investment is critical is that investments are able to generate money even when you are not participating. All right? I have a portfolio of shares here locally and out of the country. And I get dividends from those investments that do not need me to even work, okay? I know at a certain point in time, twice in a year, I will receive money from the investments I would have made, okay? If you own property, you will get rentals every month that do not need you to apply, to work, to go to a 9 to 5. That's the power of investing. Investing generates income for you that does not require you to be employed to earn it, unlike a 9 to 5. So investing is absolutely important. You've got to do it. Imagine the difference it would make to your life if you invested to such an extent that the money that your investments generate is equal to or even more than the money that you earn from your 9 to 5. If you were in a position like that, you would not be worried about retrenchments. If you're in a position like that, you would not be worried about protests breaking out and not being able to go to work for a specified period of time. You wouldn't be. Any crisis that would arise, you'd be prepared for it, or at least money wouldn't be a worry for you. That's investing. Okay? So we started at savings, we've gone to investing. The third thing you need to learn to manage to survive a personal financial crisis is debt. Okay? There are two perspectives to debt. Debt essentially means you are using another person's resources to achieve your own ends. All right? You can borrow to buy clothing, through your clothing accounts and what have you. You can borrow to buy a car through a car loan. You can borrow to buy a house through a mortgage. And you can borrow to invest, okay? All personal financial advisors will say to you, well, not all of them, some will say debt is a bad idea. And for most people it is, yes. Especially if that debt is used to finance your present consumption. If you are borrowing just to buy clothes, if you're borrowing just to buy furniture, if you're borrowing to buy a car, things that will cost you, things that won't add value back into your life, the day a crisis hits, you won't survive that. Most people even go bankrupt. Good debt, what I've just described is bad debt. Good debt is when you use another person's resources in order to invest in something that will better yourself, like an education. Number one, if you borrow to educate yourself, happy days. If you borrow to buy properties, happy days, especially if those properties then give you rentals and the rentals are able to cover the amount that you use to service your loans. Very happy days, because then you'll grow rich. You'll grow rich. But if you use debt to buy the things I warned against, you are literally, spending money you do not yet have and spending money that you expect in the future, which might not come, especially when a crisis hits. So debt, look at it from two ways. If you're saying, hey, Lawrence, listen, I'm buying properties, man. Good on you. If you say, Lawrence, I'm buying, I'm adding more shares to my portfolio and I'm borrowing some of the money to get it. Happy days, as long as you manage the risk. But if you say, Lawrence, look, I'm borrowing money from Edgar's to buy a suit, or from Truworths, or from whatever. Not that there's anything bad with Truworths or Edgar's. That's fine. It's good. If you can afford it, good for you. But the day a crisis hits, it'll be difficult if you survive it. Those are the 3 things, guys. Okay? Save, invest, manage your debt. If you get those all correct, If you start with the habit of saving now, the next crisis that hits, you'll be comfortable.